Hello Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. Monday is Tips Day. Now today, I'm trying something a bit new because one of my wonderful clients and friends, Suzanne, sent me an email where she recently went on a Royal Caribbean cruise and she went on the Independence of the Seas. And she, instead of sending me tips, sent me pros and cons. Haven't read them yet, as always. And I thought, what a great idea. So going forward, instead of sending me tips, well, please send me tips. But you can also, if you would like to, send me, if you go on a cruise, when you're finished, send me your pros and cons from that cruise on that ship, and we will discuss. It's very important that you remember as we do this, that the pros and cons are very subjective. Not everybody's pros and cons will be the same. These are the pros and cons for Suzanne. This is what I build my channel on. I don't build this on saying that Suzanne is 100% correct, the same as I don't build everything I say as being 100% correct. My opinions are my opinions. That's all they are. These are opinions to share. You take what you like, you don't take what you don't. You agree with what you agree with, and you don't agree with what you don't agree with, but you might have a few little nuggets that you can take out of this that you can move on with. It reminds me of the gentleman that emailed me a while ago and told me he could not watch my channel anymore because he couldn't stand my accent. Everybody's entitled. Some people like it, some people don't. What can I say? It is what it is. He also said, you talk too fast and nobody can understand you. It's his opinion. I'm going to try and fit in once a week on these shows that it's a matter of opinion, it's not your fault, yours is the wrong one. Because that's become my catchphrase and my favourite line. Maybe I'll call my channel that. Bit arrogant, isn't it? Because it's not true, but it's just funny to me. Anyways, yeah, it's a great line. If you ever want to use it, you're free to. You know, if anybody ever argues with you and they won't budge and you know you're right, just use that line and walk away. It's a matter of opinion. It's not your fault. Yours is the wrong one. Brilliant. Brilliant. All right. So this is, again, from Suzanne. So we're going to go through this and see. I've not been on the Independence of the Seas. My good friends Ron and Sarah have been on it a few times and they love this ship and I do want to try it. I've only been on the Icon and I need to go on more Royal ships and I think this is going to be like the Goldilocks. This is my other term. I call it my Goldilocks because like Horizon and Panorama, they're my Carnival Goldilocks because they're the perfect size for me. And I think the Independence is going to be because it seems about the same. Anyways, that's by the by. Hi Mick, just wanted to thank you again for assisting us with the Royal Caribbean Independence of the Seas cruise. You are very welcome, Suzanne and Don. Our cruise finished this morning and we are on our way. We're on a drive back to Canada. Ooh, Canada's a long drive. A long drive from Miami. This was our first Royal Caribbean cruise. Our thoughts. And yeah, a lot of my clients are, and now friends, are Carnival cruises and they are branching out to try other cruise lines because Carnival is just taking stuff away like crazy. So more and more are branching out and leaving Carnival to go, or not leaving Carnival, but trying other cruise lines. And most are enjoying it more, let's be honest. I think you should try something new. Anyway, here are Suzanne and I'm assuming Don's pros. Loved the spacious panoramic ocean view stateroom you booked for us. Spacious and floor-to-ceiling windows were amazing. Now, I do pick on people's grammar, and I did change that for you, Suzanne, because you put spacious and floor-to-ceiling windows was amazing. Should be were, I think. Oh, I'm thinking about second-guessing myself now. Anyway, yeah, it is a bit confusing when you go on some of these other cruise lines because you're so used to the way Carnival, if you move from Carnival, you're so used to the way Carnival describes their cabins, which is basically interior, ocean view, balcony, suite, with a few variations in between, that when you look at, for example, Royal, they got like 10 different ways of describing a balcony. So it can be a little bit confusing. But yes, so I've heard the same. I'm going to try one next time I go on a cruise on them. That's the cabin I'm going to go for. A spacious, panoramic ocean view stateroom. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? Food in the buffet was much better than Carnival, better tasting and a much better selection. Now, I just could speak to Celebrity on this. That's the partner with Royal. Celebrity is allegedly the higher end of Royal, but they offer drink packages within the cost of the cruise and and all that good stuff, Wi-Fi constantly. And it actually ends up almost being better value than Royal, if you ask me, or at least as good. And I can tell you this, the buffet on Celebrity was excellent every day. I have never gone on a cruise and chosen to eat in a buffet. Never. On Carnival, ever. And I don't think I've eaten I've done 73 Carnival cruises. I thought the last one was my 74th. It was my 73rd. I have never chosen to eat in the buffet. Lunch, breakfast, or dinner. I've had breakfast a few times, and typically I'll get an omelette. I don't remember ever eating off the buffet. No, it's terrible. To me, some people like it. Everybody's got their own opinion, each to their own. But and now when we went on the Icon of the Seas in the Windjammer restaurant on day one, the buffet, oh my goodness, they had crab legs, they had, try the buffet on Royal. Excellent. The staff were fantastic. And I think that's a fairly good conclusion to make across all cruise lines. I've never been on a cruise line where the staff were not fantastic. So that's a pro, but it's a pro on every cruise line. We are going on our very first Norwegian cruise in June from Iceland to Greenland. We tried it on Carnival the other year and they didn't make it. And I still firmly believe they knew they weren't going to make it before they left, but I cannot prove anything. Moving on. Nice having a stateroom and sauna in the gym change rooms that were complimentary. And I think the sauna is complimentary on some Carnival cruises. I don't really go to the sauna as well. Put in the comments if that's the case, if you know that. I do think it's free on a lot of Carnival cruises, so and other cruise lines. So yeah, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong. Always tons of seats available at the big shows at night. No having to line up and wait like Carnival. Now, I mean, does that mean that the showroom, the theatre was bigger? I don't really understand that one. If the theatre was much bigger, then I get it. But if the theatre was like the same size, then dare I say, Suzanne, that's kind of logical. No, that's not logical at all, is it? What am I saying? Let me rephrase that. Always tons of seats available at the big shows at night, no having to line up and wait like Carnival. If the theatre is a lot bigger, then that makes sense because there's a lot more seats. If the theatre is the same size, that doesn't really make any sense. Maybe it means the shows aren't as good. I don't know. I don't go to those shows. I do comedy. That's my thing. I don't know. Explain in the comments, Suzanne. I know you're going to watch this, so explain in the comments what you mean. Amazing tea selection and honey always available for tea. That's a good thing. Amazing tea selection to me would be, and if you're British you'll get this, it would be like having Yorkshire tea and PG tips as an option. Americans won't get that. English people will. I'm not a tea snob, is my point. And that doesn't make you a tea snob, Suzanne. It doesn't make you a tea snob. It means you have different tastes in tea. You like posher tea than I do. There's PG tips and Yorkshire tea is basic breakfast tea. It's kind of like one up from Lipton's. And I wouldn't put honey in tea ever, but I know a lot of people love that. And it's nice that it's available. So yes, definitely a pro for tea drinkers. See, I give my opinions, but most people don't agree with mine, especially on tea, unless you're English. I will say, where did I put it? Oh, I've got it somewhere. I'm going on the Firenze soon to meet Joey, and hang on. Where did I put it? Oh, it's over there. I got a box of Yorkshire tea. I'm going to take him, and he'll love it. What can I say? Where am I? I've lost my... Oh, that was all the pros. That was all the pros. Now we're moving on to the cons. Ooh. It's like we're at pantomime. And we went, hey! Ooh. If you don't know what pantomime is, go to England. Or look it up. Cons. Promenade was great, but why on earth do they put tables in the middle with merchandise? OMG, way too crowded. I can tell you why they put tables in the middle with merchandise. They're trying to sell stuff. Noise levels on Lido and adult pool the adult pool only area were that's in uppercase, too loud versus Carnival. I don't know, I think Carnival's pretty loud on the Lido, so I don't even want to know how loud that was. The Carnival's only loud for a short time. Maybe you're saying that they were loud for a long time? I don't know. But yeah, noise levels can be a bit much sometimes, can't they? And especially if they're playing music you don't like. You know, like hip-hop, country for me, if I hear too much of that. I like hip-hop, don't get me wrong. I'm hip, you know. I don't understand it. I was actually looking at the lyrics of, well, I'm going to keep this clean. I was trying to work out why they cancelled Baby It's Cold Outside, yet they allowed a song with the initials WAP, and I'm not going to say the name of the song. And then I was looking at the lyrics side to side, and if you do that, ask yourself at the end which one should have been banned, is all I'm going to say. Because it was Baby It's Cold Outside. I'm going to keep this clean. We're not going to do that on air, but just look. Moving on. They don't seem to be able to move people efficiently through the ship. Lots of bottlenecks and congestion compared to Carnival. Where is my question? Because I think most ships, yeah, they flow pretty cleanly. Carnival congestion would be like after a big event. I do remember on the Icon, big as that ship was, the only time we saw any congestion at all in the entire ship was after the ice show coming back through the sports bar. I didn't remember seeing any congestion on the rest of the ship. Now that wasn't Independence of the Seas. So I wish I sometimes I read these and wish I read them and called you for clarification so I could clarify what I'm saying. But other people, if you agree with that, put it in the comments. Or Suzanne, I'm asking you to make like 7 comments here to clarify yours. But where did you see the congestion and the bottlenecks? Was it where the tables were in the middle, where they were trying to sell stuff, or were there other places that you saw that? And this is good information. This is good to know, because I've not been on this ship. And that was it for the cons. More pros than cons is always a good thing. Overall, so we get the summary now. Prefer Royal Caribbean slightly, but would like to try Celebrity. Celebrity will be offering river cruises in 2027, but we probably won't be able to afford it, especially with the state of the Canadian dollar. Again, thanks for helping us with the booking. Susie and Don Dion. Oh my God. Bob Cagion. Ontario, Canada. Bob Cagion. Only in Canada would you call a place that. And I'm not knocking it. It's an interesting name. Bob, C-A-Y-G-E-O-N. I don't even know if I pronounced it right. But anyway. Now, Royal to Celebrity. And again, this is very hard for me to compare because I only did Icon of the Sea. So it's not a fair comparison. So I would more do a Carnival to Celebrity. Because we've done Celebrity and we've got like 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 more booked on Celebrity. Here's the way we look at it. And I'm sure Royal would fit in the Carnival mode if we did more Royal cruises. We cruise Carnival for fun, because I think their nightlife is way better than the other cruise lines that I've been on. We'll cruise Virgin for food, but I worry on a long cruise with only 6 restaurants if it would get, I don't want to use the word boring. I know you can vary items on the menu, but sometimes there's only a couple of things on each menu I'd like. And the more you cruise, the less food choices you get, because the menus typically don't change. But on a 5 to 6 day Virgin cruise, the food is definitely better. And we'll cruise Celebrity for port choices, because they just go to better places. The ones I talked about on Celebrity is we are going on a back-to-back cruise on the Millennium from Bali to Mumbai, stopping in Singapore on the way. And we are going to Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, all sorts of great places before we end up in India. And then in 2027, we are booked on the Equinox. These are older ships, but it's fine, because they have more restaurants. I like restaurants. And Celebrity's older ships still have good restaurants. Carnival's older ships do not. So we're going on the Equinox, and that is going out of Argentina and going to the Falkland Islands, which will be very meaningful to me for obvious reasons, because I was in the British Navy, and my ship was actually the only ship of its class that didn't get damaged badly in the Falklands conflict, that you probably don't even know about, but it was in the early 80s. Anyways, moving on, and we're going to the Antarctica, which is good for my tattoo. If you don't know, I have a map of the world tattooed across my entire back, and I'm filling in countries as I visit. One visit, one country, not all over the place, because there's too many countries. So I'm going to get Antarctica filled in, which is awesome. So I'm very excited about those. So Celebrity goes to better ports. I do believe when Carnival brings out these 2 new Excel ships, one of them is going to be based in Asia. That's just a feeling I have, and I hope it does. And then I will cruise more Carnival down there. But that's why I cruise right now. I really believe those, for me, that is the truth. Truth. Hashtag truth. Can't do THs, they sound like Fs. I apologize. Anyways, thank you so much. That's a great new thing we're going to do. So if you go on a cruise, instead of sending just your tips, send me your pros and your cons of that cruise. Oh, by the way, the other Celebrity cruise, we're going on Beyond. I have a big birthday cruise for my 60th on Carnival Celebration on April 26, 2026. Please come join me. Email me if you want information on that. We're going to have a lot of people on there. We're going to celebrate. We're going to party. And I am going to go crazy. 60 years old ain't holding this boy back. And we're going to be in Celebration Key on my 60th. So we're celebrating my 60th on Carnival Celebration at Celebration Key. Whoa! Wow. Mind blown. Email me for information. But after that, we're going on Celebrity Beyond. We're doing a side to side from different cruise lines, which will be wonderful. And that ship looks amazing. Look at that. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Send me your tips. Send me your pros and cons. Email me any questions. Subscribe to this lovely little channel. And I will see you later, Cruising World. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll get notifications when new videos come out. And don't forget, click on the links to the left and right of me. You can watch playlists, new video suggestions, and more. Any questions? Email me, cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. And don't forget, I'm a travel agent. Email for help.